Now, in World Cup down the years, enjoying the football and enjoying it, being able to drink has been a key part of the World Cup experience for lots of fans. Not all, but for quite a few. Drinking alcohol in Qatar, as we know, isn't illegal, but there is a ban on drinking in public. Now, that was understood to be being relaxed for the entirety of the World Cup. Well, there's a little bit of news coming out of Qatar today, and that is that we understand that fans will not be now allowed to buy alcohol in the perimeter of World Cup stadiums. You saw Gary Neville's documentary on Sky the other night. The understanding was that when you were in your seat, which is much like here, in most stadiums here, you would not be allowed to have a drink of alcohol in your hand, but could drink elsewhere in the stadium. But we understand that alcohol will not be allowed anywhere in the stadium or in the perimeter around the stadium. This is a pretty late decision coming in from Qatar. The whole World Cup gets underway, as you know, on Sunday. Qatar had originally just said that alcohol stands just needed to be a little bit less prominent, but we understand now that alcohol around the perimeter of stadiums and in the stadiums will not be sold at all. So if you're heading out for the World Cup and you're hoping to have a drink at the stadium, it sounds like from what we're hearing that will no longer be possible.
Well, look, the first point to make is that Qatar is a dry country. Alcohol is prohibited here. You can only get alcohol at a few selected hotels. But the organisers of the World Cup had said that you would be able to buy beer, Budweiser beer, because Budweiser is FIFA's official partner, around the perimeter of the 8 stadiums. You would be able to buy beer, costs about £12 a pint, 3 hours before the games kicked off and until 1 hour after the final whistle. That is what the organisers had indicated would be happening. Now, just 2 days before the tournament is going to start, we're expecting the organisers to release a statement saying that alcohol will not be sold around the perimeter at games. So you will not be able to, if you're a normal fan, buy beer before and after games. The only way you can get alcohol, if you're a fan here in Qatar, is if you go to a fan park or if you're lucky enough to have a corporate hospitality ticket. And these suites, hospitality suites at stadiums, I think the starting price for those is £19,000. So if you've got money, if you're rich, you will be able to get alcohol at games. But for ordinary fans, I'm not quite sure how many ordinary fans will be coming to this World Cup. For ordinary fans, you will not be able to buy beer, only Budweiser beer as well. It was going to be at the 8 stadiums. Now, of course, this is unexpected. There was a report last night in the Times telegraphing that this may be happening, and we're led to believe that an announcement is coming out shortly. Bad news for the few fans who are coming out here, although I'm not sure many of them were thrilled about the prospect of paying £12 for a pint of Budweiser. Also bad news for Budweiser, because Budweiser are an official FIFA partner. Their contract with FIFA is reported to be worth around £63 million. I hear what you're saying. That is one way of looking at it. I think if we sort of zoom out and see the big picture, Qatar flexing its muscles. You've got to ask yourself, who is organising this World Cup? Is it FIFA or is it the state of Qatar? Because Qatar seems to be getting its own way on a lot of issues that normally host countries would not get their own way. For instance, bear in mind, this World Cup was supposed to be taking place in June or July. Qatar have made sure that it's been moved right into the middle of the season as far as European football sides are concerned. Then the World Cup was supposed to be starting on Monday, but Qatar said, hold on a second, we would like to start a day earlier and we would like our team to be playing in the opening game. We want Qatar versus Ecuador to start the World Cup, kick off the World Cup. They got their own way with that as well. And up until today, they had been indicating that alcohol would be allowed at the perimeter of stadiums. Again, it looks like they've got their own way. And we haven't had a response from FIFA yet, but I imagine behind closed doors, they will not be pleased about what has happened. But it just shows you who is actually in charge of this event. Is it FIFA or is it Qatar? Because Qatar seems to be getting its own way on quite a few issues lately.